Welcome to Bodhi Television. Bodhi Television is the only Buddhist channel in Nepal. We bring Buddhism from Lumbini to the world. Today we have a very special guest. He is Professor Kwaak Young Hoon. He has been working for around 20 years in Nepal to make Lumbini a big peace city. He has a very big dream. It is his dream, it is our dream to make Lumbini a very, very peaceful, harmonious city where peace will always prevail. Let's talk about his plan, our promises, and how it is going to be implemented soon. Professor Kwaak, welcome to Nepal.
Namaste.
First, let me ask you how you come to Nepal this time.
This time, Lumbini Buddhist University wanted to have some lecture. So I came, and they appointed me as the distinguished visiting professor. And they wanted me to go to Devdaha to see the very nice forest area to make an agro-forest or mine van, Santi van. So I went there.
How you happen to be interested in Nepal and in Lumbini, and how you plan to do such a big thing for Lumbini? How you managed to bring this thing in your mind?
No, I was not only interested in Nepal, but I've been always dreaming to come to see Himalaya and birthplace Buddha in Terai, Lumbini. Very interesting karma happened in 1998, right after the first Lumbini World Buddhist Summit, when they conceived and declared that Lumbini should be the fountain of world peace. They contacted me, the UN people in New York, and also Dr. Henning Karcher, who is representing UNDP here. They contacted me and said, please come to look at Lumbini and see what's the situation, and could you please evaluate the situation and come up with some sort of a good suggestion and solution. So I said, I'm not qualified to become a person like that because I'm not well versed in Buddhist Dharma. So I disqualified myself. I said, please find somebody else to do it. But they came back after a year when I was teaching at Harvard University in the Divinity School, 99 to 2000 academic year, when the millennium sort of shifting. The teaching was, and then, so I said, my one condition there, not accepted, I need a very good Buddhist Dharma teacher or experts to be with me. And the vice rector of University for Peace in Costa Rica, Dr. Burenes, was invited to assist me. So I came here, and then I try to do as I always do, not to talk first, but listen. I was putting my ear very long, listen to the people who raise these questions, scholars, Buddhist scholars in the Kathmandu Valley. And then I talked to some people later, high monks in other parts of the world, Sri Lanka, Kandy Monastery, went to the top monk in Thailand, and I visited even New York to meet Richard Gere, what he has to say. I talked to everybody, and then I listened to the Lumbini residents, the local, so-called local people. I said, Lumbini residents. To hear them, I hear them. And then I start to feel, now I can be a good servant to relativize their wishes, local residents' wish, high monks' wish, scholars' wish, many walks of life, they wish I understood. And I said, this should be a real living place where people in the world could come to live together, to learn how to live together. So, this should be a real place, not just talking monastery, but real Sangha should be there. And then the plan should be, they say, lotus plan. Number one, that which is very difficult. Number two, they said, 3 gems of Buddhism should be symbolized. Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. So I had that in mind to make any kind of physical shapes of the area. And then we added Upasaka, Upasika for laymen from all over the world, pilgrims all over the world who loving peace, they can come. A little bit easier. So Upasaka, Upasika idea was added. So that's how I got involved.
We have heard a lot about it, but can you please now explain it in detail? What will be there in your plan? Or what kind of arrangements will be there according to your plan?
What came to my mind is things should be not only just dreams in abstract terms, but real terms, real place. So I was very sort of praying mood or meditating mood, try to get some wisdom. I realized the few things, like number one, this place should be remained and not hurting anybody. People were very suspicious. In any plan comes in, they say nice things, but they end up being chased out. So that's no. So every house, every road, whatever is there will not be touched in any plan. Mm-hmm. So that's technically possible or not? Yes, it was possible. Mm-hmm. Then could you put Padme or lotus plan over it with the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and Upasaka? And then I was working so hard and find out both are compatible. Mm-hmm. So it's not something that replace something, but they are congruous to each other. Plan was made in that way. So from the center of Buddha, it's like this. Yeah, it's a nativity right here. It's 1 mile by 3 miles like this. And then this Dharma ring, Sangha, Upasaka, Upasika, and the rural villages were able to be made in the plan with 8 truth paths for pilgrims to come in and then come out from here at the end of Upasaka, Upasika to the center of nativity. It comes out to be 8 kilometers. So total diameter comes out to be 16 kilometers. Normal people walk for 2 hours and 10,000 steps. Very pleasant configuration came out from following their requirements and the dreams of monks and the Lumbini. So this is how it's being made. And the Bairahawa airport is here. You can come from this Devadaha Nawalparasi side, come to this Rupendei district, and then go to Kapilvastu. So that road was incorporated also, and then plan was made. This is Indian side. And then another big idea came from local residents, including archaeologists or young boys and girls, about 12 or 13 years old boys. And they said, this should be a real peace and harmony district. So, peace and harmony district. PhD. Everybody comes here, they will become PhD doctors for mind, good mind. And then I thought about District of Columbia and DC, Washington DC, District of Columbia is 15 kilometers by 15 kilometers. This 16 kilometers. Well, it's a 24 kilometers here now. So, Lumbini residents give me PhD idea. So I explained to Lumbini the open hearing. They said, you decide, my dear resident, and then archaeologist Bidari and all these people, PhD. So it became Lumbini PhD. And then they said, it shouldn't be a city, however. So, it's not a city. They said, no, they should be villages. Then somebody said, Vishwa Shanti Naga, and they said, no, this is a Vishwa Shanti Grama or Gama. So, that's a good idea. But they talk each other, and they said, no, it should be Vishwa Shanti Nagrama. So this is not a city, this is not a village, it is a combination of both. So that was a very good idea. So as I said in the beginning, it's a dream of local residents, high peace-loving people, scholars and so on, and then high monks. So this plan of Vishwa Shanti Nagrama or Lumbini PhD, Peace and Harmony District, is made by them. I am one of the servant, technical servant. That's what I want to say. The relationship between Lumbini PhD and Nawal Parasi, Kapil Vastu is like this. Okay, so it's greater Lumbini area. So Maya Devi and then father Kapil Vastu side, they walking this way and drop. The baby was born here. So this whole path should be preserved. Not only this, but greater Lumbini area with Churiya mountain and the water coming here and then to Ganges. We have to think about all that. And then one other big thing, technically, is that this city should be a model for other cities in the whole world. If it's going to be fountain of world peace. So what does that mean? This should be pollution-free. No noise pollution, no air pollution, no water pollution, and so on. So this Lumbini PhD has all that. We will be using electric car, OLEV, online electric vehicle, driverless, artificial intelligence all comes into the picture. Fortunately, this is a beautiful era when no big structures or noise or mechanical things, but smart, mindful of smartness comes in again in harmony. So here is a walking city. Everybody can walk for 16 kilometers uninterrupted by any crossing. So this plan is done like that. You can walk. But you can also have a system of driverless or OLEV, like electric or hydrogen system, so no noise whatsoever. Completely noise. Food they can eat, and leftover could be used for fertilizer for the so it's completely pollution free. Number two. Number one is place where people come to live in harmony, to learn how to live together. That's number one. Number two pillar is completely pollution free, the real human city. So two things also coming into picture. in the Lumbini PhD. It is possible, completely possible. It's designed in that way.
I have some questions regarding your plan. First of all, we all have one kind of confusion. What will happen to the local people who have been living there for years? Will you throw them out? Or will you pull the land? We are just afraid that local people will have to be evacuated from their place. Is it true? Or what kind of arrangement do you have for the local people?
That's a very good question because the Lumbini residents were hurt by LDT plan because they were excavated, they were taken out, there were a little bit of money paid, but they were taken away in 1/3, and then they made a wall, and so suddenly felt, who is the owner of this land? Somebody from outside coming in and make an island inside of their living territory. So if anybody comes and try to say something good, it's going to be good for you, poverty alleviation, they were not really convincing. And so young boy came to me and said, don't talk about, when I was walking in the village, they said, don't talk about world peace and poverty alleviation, these nice words, but you have to be real good. And with his fingers, said, we have to eat. Please try to do something not to hurt us. So this plan will not move any house, existing house. It will. This plan has no. The drawing will. You have to see details. There's no road. Existing roads are changed. It's there. House will be there, and the new plans are made sort of harmonizing. So nothing is being demolished. Nobody will be chased out. I want them to be there to teach people coming from outside. So no land will be purchased by other people forcefully unless they want to sell it. If they want to sell it, I want Nepal government or Nepal people make a commission or some authority where they will have preemptive measure. If they only want to have a land transaction, they said, ask first. Then if they can purchase it, if they don't want to purchase it, then they can have a tender transaction. There's no forceful of land, chasing out, nothing like that.
Again, we all know that it's going to take quite a long time to get this plan implemented fully, and developments has to go on. Something has to be built. Some people have already made some kind of arrangements. For example, can some people make new temples or walls or something like that around the area? What do you say? Do you think everything has to be stopped, or we can just go on like that?
Oh, of course we have to go on. Washington, D.C., they have a plan called Langfang Plan. It was done 200 some years ago. Until today, they keep on living their life, building and demolishing, renewing, change the functions from church to housing. It goes on. So here, life should go on. Construction should go on. It should do anything they want. But fortunate thing is that we have Lumbini PhD framework. So it will be done in accordance to the framework. Sangha area, they can build. If they're already in the Sangha area, they can build their happy house, happy neighborhood, according to Newari style of architecture. They can go on because there's a need for housing. I encourage people go on, accelerate development and go on, so that their life, they can, when they make their own happy house, pilgrims could go and live with them, homestay, they can have money, so they can build more. So it should go on. Monastery should be built, go on. In every Sangha in the middle, there's a diamond-shaped area. They can go on making monasteries. So according to the plan, they can just make it. They are the realizer every day. Go right ahead, live their life happily to make, ultimately to realize their dream which they have made. So never stopping anything. They should be go on and accelerate in the direction as this. So for instance, this is a sacred garden. Without this plan, there's a keep on having all kinds of building concrete blocks in here. Now we have this plan, so they will do it here in this sangha. They will do it in this sangha. Each sangha, this size, 20 to 30,000 population will live. So you can build it here, you can build it, you can build it here, you can build it here, build it here, build it here. You can even build it here. Other country could come and build it here. And so, and then they can do still farming and whatever, orchard, they can keep on doing it. So, but they should stop building it right here. Only place they shouldn't build it right now is this Dharma area, which should be pristine as the time and of the Buddha. So we will be restoring little bit like that. Not close to the sacred garden. No building should be built here, but they will be building it everywhere to realize according to this truth. That's why there should be authority to guide them to do it in here.
You have met lots of politicians. You have seen many political changes in last 20 years. What do you think? What is the response of the political power or politicians or the government regarding your plan, regarding our plan?
I met 2 kings, about 5, 6 prime ministers, and various political leaders like Speaker, the chairman of the House, and so on. Everyone told me the same thing. That is, as far as Lumbini is concerned, we have no difference, political or whatever, no difference. So I was very touched. They told me, so I heard that. But political system was always changing from one to another. So I don't want to criticize or make any negative points to the political leaders because of the whole situation prevented from their wholehearted support for the realization of Vishwa Shanti Nagarama. So that's what has been happening. So finally, after 20 years, they seem to have stabilized, so I'm a little bit hopeful. Yesterday, I had a meeting with Mr. Oli, and I said, important thing is now implement. Implement so that it will help the local people, it will help Nepal economy and everything else, and also whole world, because whole world is in trouble now. It's in crisis, as you know. You know, the garbages, plastic especially, go into the ocean, and shrimp even eat the plastic, and then the bigger fish, and then whale inside. There's all kinds of plastics, and then war goes on, and world is in trouble, you know. So world needs Lumbini. Vishwa Shanti Nagarama, because there's a place like more than Mecca or Bethlehem where they will emanate the lights of peace and harmony, propagate to the rest of the world. So it's an unparalleled opportunity for Lumbini and Nepal to realize this now. There's some real problems, political, but it's changing. But see, normally people say political leaders are not doing anything, but they told me sincerely. I want to look at their eyes, whether they are saying it sincerely or not. There's no difference whatsoever as far as Lumbini is concerned. Now we have the plan. It has been not executed, and many people have wrong ideas coming in. Now they should immediately may establish commission or some authority, Lumbini PhD commission or PhD authority, to carry this out so that they can accelerate any kind of construction process and preservation. We don't call development or construction, we call conservation, conservation and development together. Conservation, you get that? So we have to conserve the pristine, peaceful nature of this area. So we develop it, but it should be always in harmony. It's not just talk of peace and harmony, but actualization will have that. I wish Nepali people with an enlightened mind really practice that. I really wish Nepali people to. I told them, let's say whole human civilization is in trouble, war, and democracy has been troubled, and the pollution is really trouble, and the humanity may perish according to Stephen Hawking and all these people. We know that. Then what do? America come in to do? No. Korea? No. Japan? No. China? No. India? No. No country can do it, but Nepal can do it. This is unparalleled opportunity. You have to grab it and do it now. If you have very good government going now, stable anyway, do it tomorrow, right now. In Latin word, they call it grab the time. Carpe diem, grab it. Do it for humanity. You gotta do it. I like people like you try to make your country to be more prosperous and peaceful. I wish I can be of any help to you, genuinely.
Well, you have been doing so hard, and we hear that the government is always positive to this project, but we cannot see any positive changes, or we cannot hear good news that it is being implemented, it is being exercised.
Go ahead.
What do you think? What are the major problems? Where are the hurdles? Who is disturbing? Who is not making this thing to happen?
I think the political consensus, the decision was not decisive enough, number one. Number two, people in the local level understood, but as time goes along, they have less understanding. Maybe this plan is hurting our life, or we might be chased out. The second point I'm trying to say is misunderstanding. And sometimes misunderstanding is encouraged by some people. It's like a pollution. There's some people have a very bad mind as by doing this, or we are not able to build my hotel, you cannot build this, or this is going to make a concrete jungle. This kind of a very wrong idea was reinforcing their misunderstanding. That's the second point. That's number two. Number three, this requires, in the 40 years ago, number three is this collected, organized capacity isn't here to make this kind of thing managed, planned, and constructed, and financing, getting some support from other side, or things like this. They don't understand land pooling system that would help them. This doesn't require lots of budget, because if you do something with land building, if you had 100, you have 50, but still 50 is the value is more because there's a road and water supply and so on. So they are not in any way deprived of their rights and their prosperity. But no skills. The collective established, organized skills are not here. Korea was like that 45 years ago, when I was suggesting for Seoul subway system and Han River to be developed, and then make some structures for gymnasium and things like that for Seoul Olympic. They didn't know how to do it. So I had to establish two things. One is a research center, and the other one is an actual public and semi-public, semi-private land development corporation called Korea Land Development Corporation. And then there was a housing corporation. Today is combined for three-dimensional coordination. It's called LLH. I started that. So now they have a capacity. It took a long time. They are excelling in the world. So, but you don't have the system. So you can ask Korea to help. So the third is easy to do. Second one, they're deliberately, I think people know who is doing bad things, so it's okay. So number one, now your country is stabilized. So 1, 2, 3 were the reason, but now it's up to you to make up your mind. You can get all that done. So you can implement today. And somebody is coming today from Prime Minister's office to deliver very positive message for the implementation. This should be implemented. World needs you. Nepal needs Lumbini. World needs Nepal. So this is the time. 3 were the problems.
Can you say something about the political situation? Do you think something like that, as it always happens, politicians say, okay, good, go ahead, but they do not do what they say, or they only provide you lip services and they don't really want to do what you want to do or something like that? What do you feel? What have you found?
This is the problem in the world today. It's not only Nepal. Washington, Beijing, Tokyo, Paris, London, everywhere there is a problem like that. Even African countries, Sudan, Korea now, the political leaders are fighting like mad, and North and South Korea have different opinions and things like this. So this is not uniquely negative attributes of Nepali politics. I don't believe it. This is prevalent everywhere. But I'm hopeful because my 20 years experience meeting Nepali people from very young in various parts, Pokhara, and of course this valley, Patan, Lalitpur, Davita area, Lumbini. The people are much more compassionate than many other country people. Much more loving kind is more than other countries. So I wouldn't say they are like that or even like that. They're a little better. So I am very hopeful that Lumbini will be now on the right track. I wish you well. I wish everybody well, especially Buddhist community. Please, you said always Atita Deva Baba, no Atta, Dipo, Baba, and your mindfulness is what world needs. Let's have your mindfulness relativized in real living place, in the birthplace of Buddha, where people in the world would come to learn together how to live together. You can do it. Please do it. I wish you well.
Thank you, Professor Kwaak.
Thank you very much.
Well, we are talking with Professor Kwaak Young Hoon, who has been working hard to introduce Lumbini as a world peace city, where there will be peace, only peace in Lumbini. Thank you for watching our program. Thank you very much. Namaste.